it's confusing for investors to figure out whether to invest in flexi-cap or multi-cap, because the case for both remains the same. They are go anywhere fund. They will be invested across the market, and that is the reason for investing in a mutual fund.
Hello and welcome to Investors Hangout. This weekly interaction to help you learn and understand savings and investment issues is brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund and Value Research. Now, diversification is extremely important for your portfolio, but it has to be a well thought out process. And if done right, it can work wonders for your portfolio. So when it comes to mutual funds, we have multi-cap funds and flexi-cap funds, which can help you diversify your investments. But how do you know which one is a better choice for you as an investor? So we'll talk about that in today's episode. Keep watching.
At Value Research, we keep telling that invest in a diversified mutual fund, and that diversified mutual fund happens to be a multi-cap fund or a flexi-cap fund. But they are little different. They are little different in the sense that in the flexi-cap fund, the fund manager is at absolute liberty to invest wherever he wants to. He has to invest in large cap, mid cap, small cap, but without any limits. He can, if he thinks that he has to be substantially invested in large cap, he can do that. If he thinks he has to be substantially invested in mid cap or small cap, he can do that. Multi caps are forced, to invest in all kind of stocks. And they must necessarily have at least a quarter of their investment, 25%, into large, mid and small, which means that they are forced to be diversified at all times. There is a possibility that flexi-cap funds may not be diversified. They may not be invested into small companies and mid-sized companies. But these funds will necessarily be always diversified. This is the key difference. Looking at recent times, the multi-caps look better, but don't go by last 1 year. Of course, multi-caps don't have a long history because most of the multi-caps, they moved themselves into flexi-cap category because it became difficult for them to run in their current structure. When the new rules were framed for multi-caps, that is when the SEBI permitted launching of the flexi-cap funds as well, and most funds chose to move their multi-cap funds into flexi-cap funds. They turned because they wanted to retain the flexibility. So we don't have a long history of the multi-cap funds, but going by the last 1 year, if you look at the returns, it is the multi-caps have delivered 24.54% return, which compared to 20.76% is nearly 20% more, which is quite significant and is quite understandable. Because most flexi caps have very low allocation to small cap stocks, and because most multi cap funds are forced to invest in small cap stocks, and they have a very it has been a blockbuster in the past 1 year, and that is why it is boosting the performance. There could be occasion when it may not work to their advantage. The kind of belief that I have in diversification, I would say that multi-cap funds will always remain a better bet, simply because they are forced to remain diversified at all times. There are times when fund managers will be heavily tilted into large cap entirely because they have become very big. The constraints will drive their strategy. But if you are forced to diversify, I think it will come in handy. It will ensure that there will be a good risk-return trade-off, balancing, and you will be able to generate superior risk-adjusted returns. So, if I have to choose one fund and one equity fund which will invest all over, today I will choose a multi-cap fund because most flexi-cap funds have not been able to prove their case that I have given the great flexibility to the fund manager. But has he been able to deliver me anything more? No.
That's all we have for you in today's episode. Keep watching the space for more information. If you like the show, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take care. Bye for now.